behave yourself. I am Coach Robin Renee. If you have not met me before, I'm going to be your host today in the Self Care Suite, and we are discussing. Oh, hold tight, because I don't want to get flagged over here. Lord Jesus. Bam. So today we will be discussing what happens when you have given so much to so many people to where you're depleted, and then when it's your time to receive some help, them same people who you went over the edge of the bridge, you bent over backwards, for them to help them, and then they ghost you. They ghost you. So that's where we are. Is that Doris? Hey Doris, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So we do discuss the many ways to wellness in the self-care suite, and we want you to come in. We want you to relax, kick off your shoes, relax your feet. You got on your PJs, your big fuzzy slippers, you got your bonnet on, you're getting you ready for your week, whatever it is. We want this to be a space that we're carving out, that we know that we have an appointment. It's an appointment with self. So it's an appointment for you to be able to come to a space, to be able to come to a safe space, to get some ideas, to get some concepts, to get some useful self-care strategies that you can implement in your own life to help you to do life better. Because sometimes we just get caught up in life, we get caught up in living life, and we tap out of what we should be doing for ourselves, and we don't necessarily stay tapped in to our self-care. Then it gets pushed by the wayside, pushed by the wayside, pushed by the wayside, and then it's pushed all the way to the back, and then it's like no longer in existence. So we don't want that. We don't want that. And so this is a space. Hey, welcome in, Antoinette. So we want this to be an actual conversation. We want it to be an exchange of ideas. Hey, Dorona, how are you? We want it to be an exchange of ideas. I'm not coming in a teaching capacity. I'm a facilitator. I'm a facilitator between conversations with one another. So that's what this space is for. So I encourage you to participate. Hey, Millionaire Michelle, how are you? How are you? I want you to participate in the conversation as well, because we are sharing ideas. I'm not just going down a list of things to say, do this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting your heart, Michelle. So this is not about me saying, do this, do that, do this, do that, and then this is the right way. The right way is the way that fits for you. And so if you saw the post that what we're going to talk about today, it's about when the person or the people who have been identified as the black sheep or the villain or the oddball, the odd man out, actually ends up being the healthiest one, whether it's in the friend group, thank you so much for my gift, whether it's in the friend group or whether it's in the family. And then when you dig a little bit deeper down into the dynamics of what's happening, then that person is actually the one that's trying to get healthy, but then they come from an environment that could be toxic. It's possible it could be toxic or even just chaotic. It can be a chaotic group. And I don't like to use the word dysfunctional. I know we throw that around, like this is a dysfunctional family or this is a dysfunctional relationship. I don't identify it as dysfunctional. I identify it as unhealthy because it's functioning. It's just functioning in an unhealthy way. It's not dysfunctional. I mean, a lot of people may be getting hurt in the process of what's going on with that, but it's functioning because people are feeding off of each other's negativity or lack of the ability to either resolve issues, address issues, or deal with their issues. So that's what we're going to talk about. Ooh, thank you. I'm 80% there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So chime in. Again, Y2, behave. Behave, behave, behave. What am I talking about? I just said what I was talking about. You know what, Deb? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's Queen Ramonda. I actually want silver locks. So look, somebody on YouTube said I remind them of the Queen on in Wakanda on Black Panther. I actually want silver lock. I really do. And she's who I have the concept of that I want to get. I am a teacher. I do want to get some silver locks. So yeah, she's my concept of what I want my locks to look like. So yeah, that's hair. Is it hair cute? Hallicue? Hallicue. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Millionaire Michelle. So we're gonna chime. England. Listen, I told y'all I was worldwide. I told y'all, hey, what time is it in England? Let us know what time it is over in England. So that's what we're chiming in on. So if you want, I don't know if I can bring people in on Y2, but I do know I can bring you in on TikTok if you want to come up in a box and you just want to discuss it. You want to say it because it's too much to type. Then you're going to hit these little, where's my finger? Right there. The little blue and pink, those people, and then you can come up. It's 2020. What time is it? Oh, 8:20 p.m. Okay, okay. About to say that's military time. Okay, okay. It's 8:20 p.m. Well, thank you so much for joining us from England. So if you do, if you have an experience that you want to share, then, come up and share. Just request to come up in the box. If not, we can just discuss it in general. But again, this is the self-care suite, and this is where you're going to come to be able to have those conversations that you may not be able to have with the people who you are in more intimate relationships with, not romantic, but just you have so much history or you have so much involvement that sometimes people don't necessarily hear one another. So we want the self-care suite to be a safe space. And I mean, we don't know each other like that. We don't, and sometimes it is easier. Hello, Travis, how are you? So we don't, black, I'm black and black and black and black. They ask, what's my mix? I'm blackity, blackity, black. That's what I am. I'm black, I'm black, I'm black. Oh, no, you're not coming up in here with this, honey. The devil is a liar. No. So you about to get up out of here. Okay. Pardon me, TikTok. I told y'all they come over here clowning. Yeah, I gotta learn how to operate in vibranium currency, Dev. That would be nice if I knew how to operate. Okay. So we got somebody over here that's these demons over here. Okay. Oh, there you go. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. All right. So, you can relate with that question. Yes. And a lot of us can. So this is where, what's up, Glamalicious? So this is where the conversation came from. So I'll let you all know where I got the conversation from. There was a young lady and I saw her video on TikTok. I don't have Snapchat. So I saw her video on TikTok. And she was talking about, she planned her 30th birthday party. It was an intimate dinner. She's getting, you feel a little older, when you make 30, which is it's a major milestone birthday. So she planned this dinner. They were getting dressed up. None of her friends came. And she was texting them throughout the day. And none of them showed up. So she had her moment, she had her crash out at the restaurant. Her family was there, which is a good thing. So her family, supported her and talked her through it. But these friends did not one of them showed up. And so she was upset about that. And then even after the dinner, one of the friends was a hairstylist. Yes, it does happen often. I mean, it was we listen and we don't judge, but yeah, it was pretty janky. So one of the friends was actually a hairstylist, and she went to get her hair done after her birthday because she was going on a vacation. So she went to that friend who didn't show up, but she had already paid for her hair. So she said that's why she went. And one reason why she went, the other was she was going to give that friend the opportunity to say something. So she's getting braids. I'm from the US. You think celebrating a birthday is a scam? Well, I mean, it can be. It depends on, people's motivation behind it. But this young lady, it didn't seem like it was a scam, celebrating the birthday. Yeah. So right, Michelle. So you know how long it takes somebody to braid your hair. The friend didn't say nothing to her at all the entire time she braided her hair. She got I think it's like a 4-part series or something. But the entire time she was braiding her hair, she didn't say anything to her. When she left from getting her hair done, I think the friend sent her a message. Yeah, something about she was quiet or something. It was something a little weird. So anyway, when she started responding, and she put all of the clips up there, as to what happened during the transaction, the friend, the one who did her hair, said that when she's doing her client's hair, she just allows them to lead the conversation and she doesn't start conversations with people. But girl, this is your friend. This is your friend. And not only is this your friend, but this is your friend whose birthday party you just missed. And she came to get her hair done after the birthday party that you missed. And then you didn't say anything. So that was her reason. And then you can kind of tell that she was, getting upset because I'm gonna say the birthday girl, so because the birthday girl was addressing the issue, but she wasn't being mean about it. She was just like, you don't really feel that you have anything to say. Like that was kind of the energy behind her messages. And the other girl, the braider, was like, I wouldn't do anything to harm you, because she said something about her stomach was hurting or something like that. I think she sent it in that text that her stomach was hurting, but she never said she wasn't coming. She said she was trying to get herself together. It was, she never said she wasn't coming. She said, I'm trying to get myself together because my stomach is hurting, but she never showed up. And then she never said anything afterwards, like at all. So I'm like, that's really weird. And then it was four of them. The one friend, I take it back. One friend did apologize. So it was four. One did apologize, and the other two said absolutely nothing. Said absolutely nothing before the birthday, during the birthday party, or after. The other two, she hadn't heard from them. At the making of her video, she still hadn't heard from the two. And so I'm thinking, like, and she's thinking this is her 30th birthday. And yeah, well, she discovered that. So she said that and she keeps a small friend group. So I'm pretty sure that was devastating because of the fact that you already have a small friend group. Like, you have a small friend group, and in that small friend group, none of them showed up. Like, that was just so. Like, did they a milestone, a very significant birthday? Yes. And so I'm thinking, like, did they talk to each other and say don't come? Like, how is it that everybody, except for the one, she did give the one some grace, because she said that he reached out and he apologized and offered to take her out, for lunch or something like that, for missing the part. So three of the four didn't address it, and then the one who braided her hair kind of blew it off, and then the other two didn't say anything at all. I'm like, wow. So that sent such a message to her. And I mean, I don't know her personally, but you can kind of feel a little bit of a person's energy in the video. So it seemed like she was the one that you say clearly don't like her for real. Yeah, she did. She cut her losses. So, you can kind of tell she was hurt about it. And she did say she crashed out in the bathroom. Her mom came in there and helped her, to get it together. Because her family did come to the restaurant too. So it wasn't a total loss. So she was still able to celebrate, her birthday. And then she went, on her birthday trip with her boyfriend. But I'm just thinking, like, how many people, like you said, Millionaire Michelle, like, that does happen often. But how many people are in that position where they do so much for so many people? It's very hurtful, very embarrassing. Yes, for sure. It's very hurtful. And so how many of us, just people, have been in those situations, or who actually live that as a lifestyle, that you're the one that's constantly giving and giving and giving and showing up for everybody? I'm raising my hand. That's how the pastor say, keep looking straight ahead, keep looking at me, don't look at your neighbor. Listen, but I've learned, like, through the years, I was that friend that would show up early, but you already know. You show up early to the Black function, you are going to the store, you are setting up tables, you are, you still cleaning, you back to me. I was that friend. Or that family member who would be there early and who would stay late. So I was on the setup crew and I was on the cleanup crew. Yeah. Oh yeah. You have to learn. Yes, you definitely have to learn. And so I would be the one, if 3 or 4 people had stuff on the same day, like, I would make my way from the furthest point away. Like, I can only stay for 2 hours. And I'm, making my way to all these things. And then I would look up, like, I don't know if you put that much effort, in what I'm doing. And it's not necessarily a tit for tat, but if I'd have been to 4 of your events in a year and you haven't shown up to mine, something ain't right. Something you say, I sure did do that. I don't do that no more. I don't listen. So not anymore. You big on matching energy? Yes. So when what year was it, in the pandemic? I don't know. I would have to look at some of my old posts, but usually, like, at the beginning of the year, and I don't, like, sit down and say in January, this is my word. It's just that as one year is ending and I'm going into another year, I just get these words, and I just, I vibe with the words, for the following year. So one year my word was reciprocity. It might have been right before the pandemic. So it may have been 2019, because 2020, I don't remember what that word was. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. It was pause, breathe, think clearly and choose wisely. Yep, that was the pandemic. I had a whole logo, whole motto, but it was reciprocity. So I believe that had to have been 2019. So that matching energy, I had to go there. I had to go there. And that no, because I teach this stuff. So yeah, my no was, my no game was I had to bring myself back. So I'm like, why you say no to that? Like I was just no, 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 no. But I had to get that balance. Reciprocity, yes, yes. And it was about balance. And then even if somebody were, to have that conversation, like I don't really know if you want to have that conversation, because if we start comparing notes, I'm gonna have a whole notebook and you're gonna have a post-it. So yeah. Yeah, they took advantage of it. And even in business, well, Glamlicious, even in business, I had to learn that as well, because I'm thinking, my community, and I want to make sure that I, have this access and make, my classes accessible and all that. The worst thing y'all could have did was have me to come on here on social media and see y'all with these red bottoms and these Balenciagas, and your Chanel shade. That was the wrong thing, because you don't want to come to a $10 class. Yeah, okay, I got you. You shouldn't have encouraged me to come on here, so now I see you. You said the second your friend become the object, and yes, you out. Yep. And so, and that's, for me, like I said, that was part of my, my experience. But I had to learn. And you're talking about, whether it's in a friend group or if it's, in a family situation, you still have to take care of yourself. And that's a part of your self-care, being able to pull away, being able to cut the ties. And it's not easy. I'm not saying that it's an easy thing, for you to do. It's not like, well, for some people it is, like I can just, cut you off, and depending on, where they are or how long they have been dealing with something, it becomes easier. I'll just say that it is. Yeah. yeah. You do have to, you have to create that balance, and so for me, when that year, the reciprocity, also you was, yes, when you are kind to the wrong people. So I'll say something about that. The wrong type of people. When you're kind to the wrong type of people, it's like they have this kindness detector, right? If I can say that, that's, if that's a thing, and will flip it around on you if you stop. Or if you say, nah, I'm not going to be able to do that right now. Like, then they'll flip it around on you like you're the problem. So that's why I said, if you saw that post, so you become the problem in the friend group, or you become the problem, in the family, because you are not, I'm finding out. Listen, yes, find your peace. You have to find your peace. You have to find peace of mind is priceless. And once you get there, so definitely congratulations on finding your peace. When you get there, you're like, you know what? This is not for sale. This is not for sale. I'm so sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But if it's me or you, you're gonna sink. If you don't know how to swim, because I'm out, I'm a backstroke, I'm a side stroke, breaststroke, I do all of it to get, to get away from that. Yes, and you do say that a lot, Michelle. Let me pin you on this. Y'all don't be stealing my girl's words either, but I'm a pinner. But yes, she says that a whole lot. Screenshot it. Give her credit. If you use it, screenshot it. When a narcissist can't control the person, they control the narrative, or at least they attempt to control the narrative, and then they might want to cuss you out, when they can't control the narrative. But it gets, and then so when you have to think about, like, with family, some of us come from large families, and when I said about the black sheep, in the family, and then I work with families too. I've been in, social services almost 40 years, but yeah. So when you think about with family dynamics, what seems to be happening or can happen is the one that was presented, or as we would call, in social services, the presenting patient or the presenting problem, is the one that was trying to get away, or the one that was impacted the most. Is one or the other. The one that was impacted the most, and they weren't able to deal with the situation in a healthy manner, and so that made them appear to be explosive, and that's what brought the family in. Or they're the ones that, exactly, they are also trying to isolate people to avoid the truth from coming out against their life. Yes. So it's one or the other. When you get to be deemed that black sheep, or you think you too good, you think, yeah, we from the hood. We all from the hood. Okay, I have no problem with being from the hood. I have no problem going to the hood. But if I have decided that I'm going to move on and I'm going to find something, better to do with my life, or I'm going to find something that will be able to, to help me to elevate into another position, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't need you to remind me. I got the same memory. We were side by side. You ain't got to remind me. I have not forgotten, but do you have to stay there? But some people's mind get locked in a certain place. And if they see you moving, or excelling to a different level, then it's a reflection in their head. You ain't done nothing wrong. In their head, it's a reflection of what they're not doing. And so that's when you become the bad guy, or that's when you become the villain, or that's when you become, oh, you think you so much. You think you, probably, And it's not to be conceited, especially if you worked hard for it. Some of us have worked very, very hard at what they say, got it out the mud. Like seriously, got it out the mud. And why would you not be proud of that? But it becomes a hurtful thing when, as I was referring to in the post, if you saw the post, where it's the villain, the bad guy, the problem child, or the black sheep. It's really hurtful when you're just trying to do better. And for whatever reason, I'm raise my hand. I don't know. I mean, if it's me, if it's somebody else, I'm just saying for whatever reason, when you have people who see you in that light, or when they get angry about something, why these people be thinking you got all this money? I don't know. I don't know where that comes from. Y'all help me out. So people will show you who they really are once you stop doing for them. Yeah. But why they be thinking people got so much money? It's not about you, you being rich. You could just have developed a better way of managing your money. But for some reason, and then so not only do they think you got a lot of money, they think you're supposed to give it to them. Like you didn't go to work for it. I don't know. Y'all help me out. Tell me. Talk to me on that. What's with that? What's like, give me your money because I know you got it. You got extra money. I don't know who got extra money, but especially in today's economy. But give it to me, and if you don't give it to me, then I'm gonna get mad. Like who told you that? Like I don't even discuss that kind of stuff with you. So we have all different, scenarios that are moving throughout, our families. And when I was younger, and I would know of people because they were older and I didn't understand it, but know of people. It could have been somebody at church, it could have been, somebody because we go to community centers when we were younger, somebody, and like when people who didn't talk about their families, I didn't really understand it like that. Like as a kid, like some people, I don't know if you had this experience, but somebody tell me you have, but someone that don't talk about, like they don't talk about their kids, they don't talk about their siblings, they don't talk about their parents. Is it because they can't figure out how you got the situation? Yes. And money is also confidence. Okay. All right. I'll take that. Let me pin you on that one, Millionaire Michelle. Yeah. But like when people, and people, what was I saying? Wait a minute. Oh, when you have gotten, to that certain space and you're just trying to get some peace. I didn't understand it as a kid that's what it was. The older I got, the more I talk to people, the more families I work with. It's not like they don't like their family and they don't want to be with their family. It's just that their family costs them so much emotionally and mentally that they have to sever those ties. So I understand it more now, the older I am and the more that I have been dealing with families, like, oh, that's where that's coming from. So imagine that pain, or if you've experienced that pain where you got to cut your people off because being with your people or being around your people causes you so much pain or causes you, so much turmoil because the conversation becomes about you, about who you think you are, about you ain't better than nobody else. Like that's a hurtful space to be in. And I don't think the people who are on the other end are realizing or recognizing that what they're saying or the things they're doing, is actually damaging, or they want you to hurt, because they're hurting. And so they want you to experience that. Yeah. So when you don't, so Millionaire Michelle says, so this, why too, this is from TikTok. When you don't struggle, they want you to, and they get jealous, angry, or hurt, or etc. Like when you don't struggle. So the rules, I don't know. It's each person. Like each person has to find that balance as to how you will deal with that. And so that's what we want to talk about. Like what space do you go in mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Where do you go so that you can, like walk around in the world? Like it's kind of like you become an alien to the people who you should be the most familiar with, and you become the most lovable to people who don't know you. And then the people who know you, it's like this vicious cycle. People who know you be like, she ain't all that, he ain't all that. Only if them people knew where they came from. Okay, like where you coming from is not, at least in my opinion, this is me, I can be judgmental, but where you came from, to me, is not, one, it actually gives you bragging rights, especially if you got it out the mud. But I mean, that's not as important as how you're dealing with people and how you're operating on a day to day. That's the way I look at it, in terms of where people are. So you said separate, you can't help you related to. Yeah, friendships are a choice and families are not. So I'm gonna say relatives, because relatives share the same blood and the same DNA. Because you can have a family and not share the same blood. So yeah, so you can't select though. Yeah, so your biological families, no, you cannot. Yeah, you cannot select those. You can select how you deal with them. Because sometimes you got some biological relatives, you like, you know what? If we didn't bleed the same blood, listen here, we wouldn't be on the same train ride either. I'll just say that. We wouldn't be on the same train ride because you got a lot of stuff going on. And sometimes it's just, it's too risky. And it's not about a person being ashamed to bring, somebody around. It's just that you're unpredictable. If you're on the opposite side of where you're trying to put somebody in their place, or where you're trying to make sure that everybody who knows them, you want to tell them where the person came from, you're just too risky to be around. So it's not about being ashamed, of your family, or, of your friend group, or the friends that you outgrow. So you have some friends that you may outgrow, and that's when the stories come out. So this is what I'm going to say about that. If you got some friends, and I'm going to use these quotations, that tell your business after y'all no longer friends, don't want your people. Those were not your people. Those are not your people. Some things you take to the casket. You take it, whether you're being cremated, whether you're going 6 feet under, whether you're going in the wall, you're going in the crypt. You take some things with you. Even if you fall out, even if it was a bad fallout, them not your people. Those not your friends. If they decided to come and tell everything, that you had going on, because a part of that again is to hurt you, because they are hurting because of the reflection that you represent. You ain't doing nothing but living your life. That's it. You're living your life, but the reflection is like, well, y'all used to be what's the freaking frack, right? Used to be right there with one another. And when one starts to move in one direction, it's not necessarily forward. It could just be split. You can just split and go in opposite directions. And it's nothing necessarily wrong with that, right? But it's kind of like in a romantic relationship. Like one person usually doesn't want to break up, and then that's the one that be causing the chaos. The one who who really doesn't want it. It can trickle over into a friendship as well. Now, the other thing that I saw, so we're going to go on the opposite end. So I don't know, this video is still going around now with these videos of the 3 friends. I don't know if you all saw that, who almost got kidnapped. Well, almost, because they survived in Colombia. I think they were in Colombia. But and they didn't know what they were, their day. They never knew that day was going to come up, and the conversations that they had. But those girls fought for their lives. You can look at all 3 different women and see their videos and see it from their perspective. Each one of them shared their perspective, but at the end of the day, they stuck together. They were like, look, either all of us getting kidnapped together, or ain't none of us getting kidnapped. It was a guy in Colombia trying to kidnap them. He snatched their phones. I mean, I think you can just go to the search bar. You put it in there, Colombian kidnap attempt or something like that. I don't know if you've seen that. Okay, take care. Thanks for stopping by, Millionaire Michelle. But those were friends. So you got the opposite end. So you got the friends that get upset or get angry because you have either outgrown the relationship or the friendship group, or you have those friends that's going 10 toes down for you, even if you all decide to go in different directions. And so where does your self-care fit into that? What do you do? What do you do to balance yourself if you ended up being the one that was singled out? Whether it's a family relationship, whether it's a intimate relationship, whether it is a friendship, like where does your self-care fit in, and what do you do? Like, what is it that you can go to? What either internal resource or external resource that you have that you can deal with what's going on when you have been identified, excuse me, as the villain, the bad guy, you think you too much, you the sedity one, you're the stuck up one. How does that impact, your self-care? How are you able to manage, from day to day? You still get up, you're waking up, whether you're going to work or what's going on, D's fit to run. Like, how do you pour back into yourself? And that's what we're talking about, because that can be depleting. It can be, thank you so much, Glamorlicious. It can be depleting to try and maintain or to hold on to something. And then some of us get into situations, or we are involved with relationships or friendships out of familiarity. So we've been, with this person for X number of years, and we've been friends with this person for X, but there are all sorts of cues along the way, along your journey, to show that you kind of fighting to hold this. And then you may be the one that's fighting the hardest to hold it together. And the other person, they ain't even rocking with you like that. They like, it's a whatever kind of thing. And so that goes back to the first video that I saw that prompted the thought in my head to even have this conversation regarding our self-care, of the girl who planned her birthday. Like, she planned, this was a milestone birthday. Like, what kind of friends would just leave you hanging like that? Oh, you don't want a milestone birthday? Like, what is the deal with that? And then to not say anything, to not follow up, except for the one. She did say that one did follow up and apologize, and then offered to take her out, to celebrate, like to a lunch or a brunch or something like that. So that one, I think she was a little bit, okay with that. But to see me after this incident, so now I'm talking about the girl who was braiding her hair. So if you're just joining, we're talking about what prompted this conversation. So there was a young lady who planned her 30th birthday party, and none of her friends showed up. One apologized for not showing up. The other, she saw after the birthday party, because she braided her hair for 8 hours, 10 hours or whatever, and she never said anything. And the other two didn't say anything. The day of the party was going on, the party was over. And as of the posting of her video, she had not heard from them. So that's what prompted this conversation. And then just thinking about in different family groups, or even just friendships, the dynamics of, you think you this or you think you that, and we are all from, this certain space. And then you have some people who actually are on a mission to hurt you, because they're feeling that you're all that, right? Because you, as they say, you got it out the mud, and you decided to live. You decided to live in your truth. You decided to live in your space. We all evolve. We all grow. We all mature. And the dynamics of the way that we operate throughout life change. Like, who wants a plant that stays the same? Even through seasons, right? If it's still the same maple tree, the maple tree is going to go through the budding season, the green season, the autumn season, right? The empty branches, in the winter season. So there's still seasons where there are different things happen. The tree gets another ring, around it, because the tree is getting older. So you want to continue to grow. You want to continue to thrive. You want to continue to move forward. But that has a great impact on your self-care when you're not able to vibe out, with the people who you thought like this, like them sandbox buddies, right? Like, we're gonna be friends forever. I'm a 60s baby raised in the 70s, right? So I don't know if y'all remember that, the blood brother, blood sister thing. So like, we going down forever. And then some of the people don't even remember their name. Like, what was my best friend's name? Well, but some you do. Some you still remember. Let's see. Oh, Swaggings is in the building. Hey, Swaggings, let me pin you. Okay, so you all, if you want to, let me know if you are going live, Swaggings. If you want to get some motivation for some meal prepping, Swaggings is who you need to be following. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, YTubers, hang tight, TikTok. Let me get this out of here, because I don't know what the YTubers over here doing. They got a lot going on. Yeah, it turned my head for 20 seconds. And the YTubers are doing a lot over here. All right. Yeah, this is a lot. Okay. Hang tight. So let's get this one out. I'm going to get this one out. Thank you for being patient, TikTok, because YTube does a lot. All right. So you're going tonight. All right. So let me pin her. So 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, meal prepping. So if you want that encouragement, motivation, and you just want to see somebody that's really excited about fresh vegetables and stuff, I mean, yeah, go head on over to Swegging. So make sure you tap into Sweggings at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time because she will be live doing meal prep. You laughing? Yeah, you are excited. I mean, it's good though. I told you that'd be my cooking show. I'm eating. I do our meal prep. I'll do some batch stuff. I'll do some batching stuff, but that's not my appointment every Sunday. For me, I mean, I'm going to make sure that if I'm available, I'm going to come for you. But yeah, so yeah, so if you want your meal prepping or just to be motivated, especially like on Saturday mornings, she does a move something Saturdays. If you want, that could be your walking partner. You can turn your device on and go out and walk. So you can definitely do that with Swaggins. So yeah, not your average. Hey, welcome in, welcome in. Again, chime in. Let us know where you're chiming in from. We have England on YTube. We got I think NYC came in, and then we just had someone from the South that was there. But just let us know. You can pick a region of the country. You can pick a state. Shy City in the building. Shy City in the building. Stand up, stand up. So let us know where you are chiming in from, so that we can shout you out. Shout you out. So again, what are we talking about today? So we're talking about what happens when you have been identified by either a friend group or as or from a family situation as the black sheep. And I'm only using that in quotations because what it turns out is that black sheep, thank you, Blue Collar Scholar, thank you so much. That black sheep sometimes and a lot of times ends up being the healthiest one from that group. So the black sheep is the one that's identified by the other ones as you thinking you this, you thinking you that, you think you got money, or if you do have a little bit of something, it's not their business. But if you do, then there's the expectation that you're supposed to give it to them. Like, since you got it, give it to me. And then if you don't give it to me, you being selfish. But it's your money and you went to work for it. So what happens when you're in that situation and you have to cut ties, you have to separate yourself from that particular group. So you've always been, okay, so let me pin you, Glamalicious. But you know what? That's what I'm finding a lot of times. Like I said, I do work with, families. I've been in social services almost 40 years. But yeah, a lot of times you find that. So the black sheep is the one, or the villain, or the problem child is the one that either one separates and moves so far away that person is the other people are angry with that person, or the one who has a difficult time dealing with whatever the dynamics are that's going on, that brings the things to the forefront. So yeah, so when you're identified as that, it's usually, you said, why do exactly, let me pin you, Swaggins. I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, why people want to count your coins. Right, like you got bills too. But even if they are your coins, and even if you have a lot of coins, if you like that leprechaun and you sitting up there, what's Rumpelstiltskin talking about me gold, that's your coins. Those are your coins. And nobody says, oh, okay, well, since you made some money, we're not gonna send you a bill. Maybe they're gonna send you more. You might get more bills. Yeah, you're right. And then your bills are not taken into consideration. It's just like, I just need you to give me this because I know you got it. How? I didn't even have a conversation with you about any money. You're making a guess that I have it, but that's what you think. You're supposed to listen and don't judge. So that's what the conversation is about. Like what happens with your self-care when you have to deal with stuff like that. So whether you are separating yourself from the situation, if you are, moving away from the dynamics of that situation, you're still human, right? And so we still, we vibe off of one another. People need people. That's just how we were created, to be here on earth. And so what do you do for your self-care when you have to remove yourself from either one, friendships, that you grew up with that were familiar, but not necessarily the healthiest. And I don't like to use the word dysfunctional because I do believe that they are functional. They're just unhealthy the way that they function. So I stay away from the word dysfunctional, even though that's a catchphrase, when you're talking about different dynamics that are going on. Yeah, you do have to separate yourself. So then what happens though? So what happens with your self-care? So what begins to happen is you become the villain to the group that you are familiar with, but then the new people, because then you get there, they done met all these new people now, but then the new people can understand you for who you are in that particular state, right? That particular day, that particular season of your life, you're able to thrive, you're able to flourish. And it's not about you just wanting to be around strangers so you can go and flex, but sometimes the heaviness, the weight of what's happening in your familiar situations, your familiar relationships is just so much mentally on you. Your capacity, it becomes overloaded. So mentally, psychologically, spiritually, and then it starts to manifest physically. So that's where we get a lot of illnesses from too, when you're trying to hold stuff in, because some is with your parents, it's your mom, it's your dad, it's your caregivers, whoever raised you. And so it's like, if you were raised, especially if you, boomer and Gen X, like you were raised to respect your elders. And so there's so much you got to hold in, you got to keep that in your gut. And that's going to impact your overall health if you have to hold that stuff in. Right? Like where does that go? That's when the dis-ease, right? Your body begins to manifest that. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the saying where the body keeps the score. No matter what your mouth is saying, right? No matter what your mouth is saying or what you're trying to convince yourself in your head, your body is going to keep the score. So that stuff comes out in all sorts of ways. And depending on how intense, how chronic that condition is, by the time medically it's discovered, it could be at a level where one, either it's incurable or it's going to be, extremely challenging in order to find some kind of balance with it to prevent the progression of it. Like, will you be able to totally reverse a chronic condition? In some cases, yes, it depends on what it is. But in other cases, no. It's just that you can kind of hold it at bay so that it doesn't progress so fast. But that is where your self-care kicks into high gear, because there's going to be some things that you have to do to change. You're going to have to change some things. You're not going to be able to continue in that dysfunctional system and think that, oh, it's going to be okay because I said something about it, or because I'm talking about it, or because I brought it out. No, you still have to actually change some things. And a lot of times it becomes separation. Like, you have to actually remove yourself, from the situation. But you're like, dang, but that's my sister. But man, that is my brother. Did y'all didn't see Mufasa? That is my brother, right? You got to separate yourself, from your family. And then you end up, in this new space, a whole new world. But sometimes that new world is refreshing. It's refreshing, but that does not take away from the fact that we are biological creatures and we all come from someplace. Like, it might be some down here, some that just dropped down here. I'm just saying, but for the most part, we grew from somewhere. We had, some sort of dynamic, whether it was in your nuclear family, the dynamics from there, whether it was from a kinship family, you got family dynamics from there, whether it was in a foster family, like all sorts of things, can constitute a family, but you still had to grow up in a certain space. And for some, those spaces were not as nurturing as they could have been. And it puts us in a position to stay on guard. Like, we're emotionally and spiritually on guard in those spaces. And those are supposed to be your safe spaces. And so if you get the opportunity, some people left home at 16 and they haven't looked back. They're like, you know what? That was a bit much. I'm going to figure it out. Some were 13, what's her name? Korean Stephens. I think she was 13 when she came over to the States. She was young. She was very young when she came over to the States and had to figure, some things out. She went through some challenges, in her life, but she, had to figure it out. And if you see her now, like, a lot of people don't even recognize that it's her. But yeah, she's thriving. Like, she's doing very well now. But you have to think about all the things that she ended up, going through as a result of her getting away from certain situations and trying to make a situation better. And people took advantage of that. So there was someone, Millionaire Michelle, when she was in here earlier, talking about people taking advantage of your kindness, right? So if people are looking at you and they see you as being vulnerable, or they see you as being kind, and they say, okay, well, what can I get? Like, give me. But in order for you to give, you got to take from somewhere. You need a supply. And where's that supply coming from? If that supply is coming at the sacrifice of your self-care, that can cost you. That can be pretty costly. And so that's what we want to talk about, just useful strategies of how to navigate when you have to get away from some of those toxic situations. And unfortunately, some of them are your blood relatives. And I don't know if you guys were on here earlier, but if you weren't, I did make reference to when I was younger. I didn't understand, like, when you would meet people and they didn't talk about their family at all. Like, no mention of a parent, no mention of a sibling, no mention of children. But as I got older and started to work, with more families and just living and just learning different things, I'm thinking like, I wonder if that was, that person's situation. Is that, what it was? Because somebody got somebody somewhere. Now, not that they had to discuss their business, but it was just, something about, people who just don't say nothing about nobody around them, don't make, no mention of that. And not just to hold anonymity at work. That's not what I'm talking about. It could just have been somebody in the neighborhood. But as I got older, I understood a little bit more. Was that their situation? I don't know. Kind of guessing it may have been, because like I said, you have people who come from certain spaces or from certain places, and people want to hold you there and they want to keep you there and they want to constantly remind you of where you came from as if you forgot. For the most part, people don't forget unless it was really traumatic. Then that means that that trauma was pushed back. I'm not talking about that. If you are protecting yourself with defense mechanisms to hold the trauma back, that's different. But for the most part, we know where we came from. We're not mistaken. We're not mistaken. Yeah. Yep. I'm going to pin you swaggings on this. Okay, I'm going to pin you. Yep. So it's hard to walk away, but you need peace. And peace of mind is priceless. Hey, divinely guided oneness. Oh, I'm loving that name. So yeah. So then where does our self-care fit in? Oh, do I have more comments? Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't build a mountain, walk like it's a flat plane, easy step. Okay, so I'm trying to read some of these comments. I do like that. So you don't count the days. You get to 100 and you wake up, you're back at 1. Mental health and addiction. Yeah, so addiction could be a part of those dynamics too. Whether it is someone who's trying to help someone with an addiction, or so I'm from the U.S. Or you can be trying to help someone with an addiction, which ends up sometimes not being the healthiest thing, and it can turn into a codependency, and then that creates a whole. Do a rap. Must I say it again? I said it before. Move out the way when I'm coming through the door. Me, heavy, as light as a rock. Guys, watch. They talking about come do a rap. They don't know about me. Oh, I'm telling. Okay, divinely guided oneness. Yeah, I'm going to pin you up here. Yeah, but you know what? That's a lot of our truths. And the longer you live, the more you live, the more people you interact with, you find out that there's like this commonality. So I don't know if you guys saw the video that I posted about like when the black sheep or the problem child or the villain, of either the group or of the family actually ends up being the healthiest one. So that's kind of what prompted the conversation. Like, that's really the healthiest one. But the other people want to keep that healthiest one back and makes it appear that the healthiest one, or the one that's interested in becoming healthier. I'll just say they're interested in becoming more healthier instead of staying back in the toxic environment, then that becomes the problem, right? And then like there are a lot of people with the same story, but we don't know, like, right? Like we don't like, oh, that's my story. There are a lot of people like that. Like, yeah, there are a lot of people like that. And I just want to have a conversation about it. And then like, what do you do with your self-care? What happens with that if you have to walk away? I'm in quite a few areas, but the experience I'm talking about, this particular conversation is family and social services. So yeah, so we're just talking about how different things can impact people when they grow up. I mean, I work with the families, even though the children are in the families. I work with more of the parents, but like what happens with those children who end up in the system, who end up getting caught up in the child protection system, and then what happens when they outgrow that, or if they reconnected like with their original biological family, and then people want to come back and remind them of the things they went through, because those become like daggers, like you ain't all that, you grew up, or they want you to just keep telling where you came from. Yeah, I remember when you did. They want you to keep telling the story, but that may be triggering or that may be traumatic. You don't necessarily have to keep repeating that. That don't mean you forgot it. That doesn't mean that you feel you better than that. You just move it in a different way now. That's it. Okay, you have to leave. So you have to step back. Yeah. Sometimes you have to step back and be able to breathe and be able to think clearly, like, you know what, this is not really working for me. But then also stepping away for an extended amount of time, because that's a good amount of time, for 10 months. When you step away, you get a chance to breathe a little bit better. You get a chance to breathe a little bit better to determine, is this really something I'm trying to come back into, or come back into in the same way that I left? Because sometimes people want to hold you to an obligation because you share the same bloodline, because you share the same DNA, that you're obligated to do certain things. But I don't know who told them that. I'm just saying. But some people feel like that. Like, well, you my sister, you my cousin, you my brother, whatever, you owe me. Oh, the family manager. Yeah. Divinely guided one is, yeah. You're the oldest. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So that's what, I'm not saying that that's who you are, but that's the attitude of the other people in the family. Like, you feel like you're the family manager, like you're not the boss, but you have parents, who may have been working and needed your help. And then you had to step up and, had to do certain things, at a young age. So yeah. So you said, how did you get, that's a good question. Okay, so I'm going to pin this one. So Y2, somebody asked, so one person responded that they were the oldest daughter, and so a lot of those responsibilities fell on her. So this other question is, was it easy to go back, and how did you ease back into it? That's good. That's a good one. That's a good question. That's a good question. So I don't know if you want to, and anybody, if you're in here, these two little people right here, that pink and that blue, if instead of typing everything, if you want to join and come in a box, you don't have to turn on the, you haven't go, okay, so she hasn't gone back. If you want to come in a box, like if you want to have a conversation, instead of trying to type everything out, you don't have to turn your camera on at all. But I know sometimes it's a lot when you're trying to type in the chat. But yeah, you can come up and have a conversation. This is what we're here for. Crown of Angel. Hey, welcome. You are, okay, Blam. Okay, I don't know what's happening here, but yeah. We don't need no dragons over here. Okay, so anybody, if you, like I said, if you want to come up, just request. You hit the little pink and blue people right there, and then you can come up and we can have a conversation. So we're coming here in the self-care suite. We want to hold this space Sunday afternoon. It ain't easy like Sunday morning, but we chilling on a Sunday afternoon. But I wanted to commit to this because a lot of times we're so busy doing so many other things. This is my part. This is my give back, that I will hold this space. Sometimes we're here for an hour. Sometimes we're here for a little bit longer, but I at least want to hold some space that if no other time that you can go somewhere, even though it's a virtual space, but just come and relax, come and just let off some steam. Ooh, okay. I'm going to pin you, Glamalicious. That's one way of putting it. So, okay, you know what? I'm not your bro. Okay, pardon me, TikTok. Somebody over here called me bro. Y2 will be doing a lot. Oh my God. Okay, so Glamalicious says, I am the family dump truck, the one that has a relationship with everyone. That's heavy. That's the heavy weight. Okay, somebody's coming up. Okay, somebody's coming up. All right, Swaggings is coming up. Okay, and then you said, and when they want to argue, you get it all. It's mentally taxing, I'm pretty sure. Hey, Swaggings. I got to turn this light down.
Hey, I wanted to pop up because this is a great topic, and I'm actually going through this with my family.
Okay.
About 2 months, and I have walked away, and I feel fine, but I do still miss my family. But okay. I don't want to go back into the same situation. It needs to be changed. So I didn't know if anybody on here was going through that, had been going through that, and how did they actually get back into it?
Oh, that's why you asked that question. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah,
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot.
They don't understand why you walk away and they think you're crazy, but
Well, but if you stay, but I'm just saying, but if you stay, then that may take you to another level,
Exactly. And sometimes they did. And so that way you have to step back and get your peace. And when you step back, and after a while, you're like, I just got to get away. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the getaway stage. But then when somebody said it's been 10 months, I'm like, can I last for 10 months? So I don't know if I would be able to, and how.
Well, okay, think about this. Let me just say this. Look at how we survived 2020. From March of 2020 to 2021. That was 12 months. I'm just saying, like we survived. We figured it out.
Yeah, but that was friends. This is family.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, so that we, like I'm saying, as people, we have resilience. Like we really do. We have. It's just a matter of us trying to figure it out, and that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We want to support one another. Okay, wait. You know what? I don't know. Okay. See, Y2, help me out over here. Okay, I'm sorry, T-Top. You're a 7,000-year-old dragon. Okay, that's okay. Y2, thank you so much for joining. It looks like I'm gonna end up having to shut y'all down. I mean, I hate to do that, but because we do have some people that are actually interested in wanting to be there, but a 7,000-year-old dragon, we ain't about to be dealing with that. They ain't gonna be dealing with me.
Well, I get Glamorous just put on there, and when they want to argue, she get it all. It's mentally taxing, and that's the question though. Like because you're in the middle, and there's always two sides to everything and the truth. Because everybody sees things differently. And nobody wants to talk about it and try to get a resolution and say they're sorry or they're wrong for their part.
Okay, so divinely guided said it's hard to release the sense of peace when you find it. You're right about that. Don't mess with my peace. And then I've healed, but they have not. I feel like I got baptized and need to change the people I'm around. Listen.
So how do you do that?
Have you want to come up, divinely God? You want to come up?
You can take me off because
No, you can stay. You can stay. You can stay.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Yeah, I can have up to 8 people. Yeah, so then you don't have to keep typing that. Yeah, so hit those the little man, the pink and the blue on the bottom, and I'll bring you up into a box. So you don't have to type all that. So Glamorous says no one likes to take accountability. That is true. Okay, Dragon, you're gonna have to calm down because you will end up getting everybody else cut off. So no more dragon talk, okay? So I don't know if Divinely God is able to come up, but you don't have to turn your camera on. But yeah, that is
So how do you get people to take accountability? That's the thing too.
Glamorous, you coming up? Hit the pink and the blue person, because that is challenging. That is because sometimes when you bring it up and you're just bringing up how you're feeling about the situation. Okay, so she can't come up. Okay, but when you're expressing how you're feeling about the situation, it puts them on the defense like they caused this and it's their fault. But it's just you expressing how you felt about what happened. And so I don't know how you can get someone to take accountability without them owning up to it. Like they have to own up to it. You're not going to be able to show it to them. Okay, I got somebody else coming up. Okay, divinely guided oneness is coming up. Like who got the answer? Not like me. That's what we having a conversation.
And see, Glamorous said she learned to deal with them based on their own personality. And so this right here, because I went to therapy and my therapist said, either you have to change yourself to be around that person. That means you're not going to be your authentic self. Or you just have to walk away if you want to be your authentic self. So why do I go into a room and I can't be myself based on other people's personalities?
That's true.
That's where I am.
Right. So that's why I walked away.
It's scary to think about having to go back into the lion's den because it was not healthy, but I was a person that would make myself small enough to deal with things. And now I see that there's a whole world where I don't have to make myself small for anything. I can be who I am. I can be comfortable in my own skin. I don't have to have all these lords over me, and everybody expecting me to do things a certain kind of way just because I always have, I've healed myself by my absence. Like I can see the forest for the trees now. And each and every individual person, I can see where our relationships are wrong at, and I apologize and I have conversations, while I'm away. But to go back into it is
But you say keep your invitation to the barbecue, huh? Like hold on to that. I get it. Okay.
It's like I love everybody. I support still, but I was the workhorse. Like when I left, my sister had just had a new baby and I had to take care of everything for her and trying to take care of the business and help people with this, that, and the third. I was stretched so thin. And to be in a place now where it's just beautiful when I open my eyes. It's beautiful when I'm waking up and without an alarm, without knowing that I have to go do this thing for someone else. And, I've just been doing it all my life. I'm the oldest. I've been taking care of babies and children and everybody since I was 6 years old, since I was old enough to stand up on a stool to cook some grits, Yeah. I'm tired. I love everybody, but I mean, they feel like I'm a little bitter because of everything. But I don't even want children because of there was 5 siblings. My parents worked 2 jobs apiece, and we lived in a middle class neighborhood. We lived pretty well, but the work was mine. The children was their step. So I was ironing 5 pairs of jeans in mine and getting everybody ready for school.
Oh, wow.
So I'm at a place right now where it's nobody expecting me to get up to do anything. Sometimes I can just lay in my beautiful space that is neat and clean and free.
And everything is where it's supposed to be. Right.
Just eat me some fresh fruit and drink me some spring water and take care of myself and get up and work out and just, do my journaling and, scripting and things that I do to try to make things better for myself. And I don't have to be stressed and worried somebody standing at my door without even calling, waiting, expecting, ready, because they know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Oh, hey, Kiara. So Kiara said the best thing to do is set strict boundaries and live in peace. Indeed. Now, let me say something about this divinely guided oneness. Now, people know me. So if any of my people, y'all out here, y'all already know me. I don't care who you are. Do not come ringing my bell. I am not coming to the door. I'm not. I've been that way since high school, college. If you ain't call me, you were not in the neighborhood. No, don't be doing that. Don't do that. You can, and I have one friend, she ain't on here, but she'll tell you. She would say, I know you up there. I see your car. My car will be right in front of the house. I know you in the house. Whatever. You ain't called. Don't be called now. Child, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't just be stopping by my house.
Definitely gonna have to be some boundaries when reapproaching. There must be boundaries because you've changed as a person. And they are not, especially if you're still having conversations with them and you see it through conversation that they're in the same space.
Yeah.
You got to change everything. And that's I was telling my friend the other day, it's like a drug addict or something. Like when they go through their therapy or rehab or whatever, they have to go back and they have to assess whether they should be friends with these people still, whether they should have these people still in, you know what I'm saying? How should they deal with these people? At what capacity should they interact with these people? It feels like that. I've read these things that people talk about, and it is definitely akin to something like that, to have to think about reapproaching. But there's definitely for me, there's anxiety. So
that approach that they take in, because I've also worked with families dealing with addiction, but that approach is because they have to save they're literally fighting for their lives. And so if you don't have, an addiction that you're dealing with, or the dynamics of an addiction that you're dealing with, we don't make that same connection, but it should be just as serious, as someone who is going through it, because they know that, what is it? 1 is not enough and 1,000 is too many. They can be in the gutter somewhere. That one, that one thing that they take could end up, could take them out. And so that's how we have to deal with it. So so swaggings, I would say, that was really good. Divinely guided one. Yeah. Pace yourself.
Yes.
You gotta do the hokey pokey. So put my left foot in. Am I going? Start with a party or something. What? Maybe I'll come over here for 10 minutes. Okay, all right now. Let me see y'all later. Let me drop the baby's gift off. I'm gone. Okay. All right now. That may have to be, because some people are on what I like to call ready, set. Right? You don't really have to do much for them to go. They are already on ready, set with you, no matter what. And you can do everything right. Walking into a space, they're already on ready, set with you, because the reflection of what you're doing, or the reflection of who you're becoming, is blinding to them. It's blinding, it's deafening, and they don't know how to handle it. It's not your fault, but they don't know how to handle your shine. and you ain't doing nothing to shine. You just living and breathing and drinking your water and man, your business, right? That's it. But you too hydrated for
I'll
them.
tell you this: you realize the dynamics. That's the thing that hurt a lot, was realizing that people aren't who you think they are to you.
That part.
Like when you have the feeling that somebody been against you all your life, and then it is confirmed by their actions when you leave, like their head starts spinning, they lose their mind, they just because they always had control over you, and they don't know what your possibilities are, and they don't, it's like a fear, and it comes out of them. It's really scary to look at, because if you're your own parent, like they've been working against you or praying against you the whole time. I had a parent literally say to me that he was praying that things didn't work out for me so I could stay there. And I was hurting there.
Wow.
I was hurting there. He told me he was praying. This is my stepfather. He's been with my mom since I was 3 years old. All my siblings came after, so everybody else is his kid. There's another dynamic, It's like so many layers to it. It's like an onion trying to heal this thing, telling you.
So maybe that was to allow him to remain in that position of being a caregiver. Like your independence may have presented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. That's exactly it. Because my sister, I have all brothers, but my one sister is like, that's his daughter. So he tried to, she's like a second wife. She goes to the appointments, she does all of these things, but when she's not available, I have to jump in. But then I'm guilty because I don't do like conventional medicine and things like that. I've been healing myself with herbs for like almost 10 years now. And he knows that I know this stuff. So he'll guilt me into, he'll treat me some way and then try to guilt me. And I haven't heard from you and all this. But the last time you spoke to me, you disrespected me so bad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm supposed to just deal with it because this is my elder, It's really unhealthy.
Right. Were you on here when I said that? When I just said that, like if you're a Gen X or a boomer, like that's just how we were raised. You respect your elders. Even when they go totally off the rail, or as the kids say, when they crash out, you still got to respect them.
I cannot. I cannot. I've lost too much. I've lost 2 of my brothers. And so I am aware that people can't go away, and you'll never see them again. And so I require that everybody treat me the way that I treat them. If they're not, they can go away. I've lost people closer to me than anybody, and I don't mind losing somebody for mistreating me. So it's really hard to be a person. I mean, I have a standard as far as, that, but as far as them invading my space and trying to manipulate, I've been letting this, my stepfather, for the most part, manipulate the whole situation. It's been so many instances that, when you get away from things, things come back to you and you remember, it's like, oh my God, if this was somebody in the streets, I wouldn't have nothing.
Right, exactly. You didn't hear me when I said that? If we didn't share the same DNA, baby, we would not be on the same train ride. No, we just would not. So Swagging, so you hear that? Did you hear what she said, Swaggings, in terms of you making sure that you protecting your peace, and sometimes it's gonna cost a pretty penny.
It does. But it's hard. Yeah. My thing is, how am I gonna get back to talk? I cut them all off, like everything from phone to social media. They don't know nothing about me, and you can't hear nothing about me unless your friends tell you.
So then this could be an opportunity for you to build yourself, though. This could be an opportunity, so you'll be so solid when you do decide to, do the hokey pokey and put the left foot in. This is just look at that as this season. This is a building season for you then.
That's true.
Yeah, get solid.
I did start, because none of them called me when I got here, but I did start. You might want to try just calling one. If you call one, the one that talks a lot, they'll spread it to the others that you're talking.
Right.
I guess what you said, maybe I'm not strong because I get anxiety even thinking about doing
but then that probably means you're not.
It's only been 2 months. 2 months. I was just talking about in the future like how to get back into it in the future. But I guess if I'm strong enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had them say, like, I've gone to them prior to me walking away, realizing that a lot of them controlled my life. And I've said that. And they've come back and said, you allowed it. I was like, whoa. And then I said,
that pain, man, think about that. It's the truth, but that pain.
It's the truth. And I said, you're absolutely right. And from this day forward, I'm not allowing it. I'm letting you know this now. And that's when the stuff started going crazy after that, because I didn't allow nothing. Said something I didn't like, I said it.
Yeah. But that's you attempting to maintain some kind of synergy, because it's probably not going to be totally balanced. I I can't predict the future, but at least some form of synergy where there's a give and take. I tread lightly using the word balance, because life just, we don't really be balanced, all the time, but there's a synergy where there's a give and a take. There's an up and a down. And it's okay, because it does, one gets enough that the other one can feed off, if that's making sense, right? So they may not sit here. Even if one is here, it begins to teeter so that you can be okay if it's up one time and if it's down one time. So look for some kind of synergy. Oh, Glamalicious said tap the screen.
It's just going to take time. That's all.
Okay, wait. So Kiara said start with a text, then build with a call. With texting, you have more control of the conversation. I like that.
Ooh, that's good.
I like that.
That's good.
That's good. Thank you, Kiara. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That is definitely a good one. So that's a strategy. That's a self-care strategy. So if anybody else is out there listening, you use that too. Remember, we're sharing strategies. When we come to the self-care suite, I'm not in a teaching capacity, and I don't want to come in and tell people what to do, which is why I encourage people, to come up and talk, or if you want to just type your comments in, you can totally do that. But we want to be able to support one another, because just like we're finding out, a lot of us are walking on the same path. We just didn't know it. Like we didn't know it. We didn't know that we were walking, along that same path.
Space.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Divinely Guided?
Thank you for providing the space.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's feeling really cathartic.
Yeah, I made the commitment in January, to say I'm going to do this, for the 12 months, and then just see where it goes. Because I do talks, I do speaking engagements, I work with, whether it's young girls, whether it's, women, and I'm doing all these in separate spaces. So I'm like, okay, so what if I just had a space where people can come to virtually? Right? You may not be able to get out to something that I'm doing, but if there was a space, like, what is that time? Now, my Sunday afternoons, especially in the summer, I be hanging in my hammock. So some of these may come from my hammock. I'm just letting y'all know. It may come from my hammock, while I'm chilling, in my hammock. But like, I value these Sunday afternoons so much, for me, it's a wind down time. So I'm like, okay, so I can, I'm okay with that, because I'm not sacrificing my time. I'm opening up a space for other people to get into a habit. Now, Sundays may not be your groove, but at least you'll have the opportunity on Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, that if you just need to come in and say, whoo, child, I just need 5 minutes. I need 5 minutes to come in and let this go, and then I'm out. That's what I want people to know, that the space is here. So, hey, as long as God is providing me, with the energy, with the time to do it, I'll be here. And it is virtual, so I'm able to travel. So even if I'm out traveling, I'll still be able to, to tap in, with people. So when I get over to the other side of the world, but I'm gonna do it. It'll be 3:00 in the morning, but I'll do it. I'll still do it. Because I want people, I want to stick to my commitment. So, and this is what we're here for. So that we can all get into that habit of, if nothing else, I can breathe for 1 minute. We're going to do that on one of these self-care suite conversations. We're going to actually do our meditation, our control breathing, box breathing. So we're going to have a good time. But Divinely Guided Oneness, you're going to have to come and talk about some herbs. Now, look, you're going to have to come and do your thing, be a guest. And we can talk about some herbal healing, because we want to, like I said, we want to share. We want to share those simple things, those sustainable things, those useful strategies that people can put in their pocket, right?
Yeah.
If you can't get to a spa, if you can't get to an island, like, I'm gonna pour this cup of water into this sink, and that's my waterfall. What are we gonna do to create that? Put this towel over my head, and this thing, put me some orange peels. I'm just saying, that's my facial. Like, what can we do to make sure that we're able to tap in to those self-care strategies that don't cost, that won't break the bank? Like, because we need it.
I went outside, sis.
Oh, I love outside.
I went outside. I started a garden.
Ooh.
I even now where I'm at, I started a garden at my house, but when I got to where I'm at, I have plants growing on the porch, on the balcony, because like I can't throw away seeds just because I know what I know, just because I know how to grow it. So I probably end up selling them when I leave, but growing something, like putting your hands in the soil. I went outside, I took my shoes off. You know what I'm saying? I sit up under the tree like grandma and them used to do.
Listen.
Sometimes I sit out there, Sometimes every day, actually, when I get up, I used to pray a whole lot, and I just felt like I was begging. And one day, I don't know if I heard or read something, but I like to write, and I always wanted to write since I was a little girl, but I never wrote a book. But I use writing to write my future. I write what I want for my day. I write that I want all things to work in my favor with grace and ease, and I want all things to be well concerning to me. I write positive things to myself, about myself every day. That's my prayer for me, because just with my family stuff. I also had stuff with my ex-husband. I got divorced, and we were in the church, and it was messy. And, it was stuff with the pastor. So I have church hurt on top of that. So I had to release anything that was holding me up as a crutch and really just stand up on the earth with bare feet, with my face to the sun, and say, what do I need to do? And then I started following my soul. My soul tells me everything. I know what herbs to get up when I get up. I know what I'm gonna make my tea out of. I know what fruits I need to eat. It's just like I had to get quiet and stop listening to them telling me what I'm supposed to do by this time, by this age, and what I should have done, what I didn't get done. I blocked all of them out, and I listened to the still small voice that's inside me.
That's good stuff. Okay, Swagging says she had a 4:30 meeting to go to, but thank you, Swagging, for joining us. But yes, so divinely guided oneness. I said I was gonna do some grounding. I got this thing with like being in public doing it because I just think of other people's feet being there. Like that'll throw me off. But I said I'm gonna start in my own backyard. I'll start in my own backyard. So that's what I'm gonna do this summer.
Where I started, so let's do it.
Yeah. Because other than the animals that are out there roaming, like it's not like a park where it's everybody's dog and all that, So we got some little creatures out here in Green Acres, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that because But it's just something about me taking off my shoes and being in the park and like millions of feet been out here. Like it wouldn't work. And where I am now, it wouldn't work. So I said, well, let me just start in my own backyard, like literally. You have some of your greatest treasures in your own backyard.
It works.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that because I do my hammock now. I have on like slides when I walk out to my hammock and I take my shoes off when I get in the hammock. I'll do that, but that's not the same as grounding to the earth. So I know that. So I'm not gonna say I was thinking about it. I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna do some grounding. I'm gonna do a video. When I do it. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do some grounding. My hands, my feet, laying in the grass. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Hey, go out on the limb and hug a tree. I'm telling you, it works.
Oh, hug a tree too. I actually cut down a lot of trees. We had, oh my God, probably about 15 trees. We had a lot. We cut down a lot of trees. My mother-in-law, she was like, you out there like Mr. T. You remember Mr. T?
Yes.
Okay, from the 18. So he bought a house. It was like in one of the northwest suburbs outside of Chicago. He cut down all the trees. That was so black. He went and cut down all the trees. He cut down the trees. So my mother-in-law she was teasing me. She was like, you out there like Mr. T cutting down all the trees. I guess he was like, nah, this the jungle. I'm cutting this down. But that's how I felt. It was like, it was just, but the roots from the trees and stuff, they held, so much moisture. And so when it rained, it was a little harder for the grass to dry and all. It was a lot. Like we had a lot of trees. So we just have a few. I still got a couple I can go hug. So I'm gonna hug a tree. I'm gonna do some grounding.
I'm telling you, it just feels good to get outside. For some reason, you get some clarity. There's something about being in these spaces that we feel contained. It seems like for me personally, my thinking is limited. There's a cap on it. Like there's a roof on a building. There's a cap on what I think I'm capable of, what I think is possible to work for me. And getting out, just being out there in the fresh air, in the fresh breeze, it's just like there's no limit. There's no limit. This can work. I can have these conversations. I can say the things that hurt me and then be okay with listening to the response, whether I like it or not. Mm-hmm. So, that's one way that I've been using to try to work back my way back to my family.
But that's actually a useful strategy. Hey, Vanessa, how are you? Vanessa's from the UK, so Vanessa been chilling with us. She's been chilling with us.
Hey, Vanessa, my name's Vanessa too.
Oh, yeah, Vanessa, say something so I can pin you. Yeah, she's from the UK, and she be chilling over here in the self-care suite. But I was gonna say, okay, here I'm about to pin her now. I can't pin you. Yep, it's Vanessa Wallace. Can you see her? Divinely Guided Oneness, can you see her?
I see her. Hey, Vanessa. Yeah. I'm Vanessa Mulberry.
Yes. So, I can't pin you because I have someone in the box. But I like blue spaces. I love blue spaces. So I'll walk along the lakefront or along the shoreline. Even if it's raining, I'll park in the parking lot and just watch the water. that I do. I hike. So I go in the woods. I'm one of the people that be hanging in the woods, And when people used to be laughing at Left Eye, I'm like, I get it now, Lisa. I get it. Remember Left Eye used to want to go live in the jungle. Remember, she's like, I want to just go live in the jungle. She's going to hang out in the jungle. I get it. Because humans be doing too much sometimes. They be doing too much down here on Earth. You said it's always a good space. Yeah. So my blue spaces and green spaces. Now, if I had to choose a blue space on top of green space for me, I'll go into a green space to get to a blue space, if that makes sense. So if there's a waterfall in there somewhere, I'll navigate it, the mountains or, the forest or whatever I'll do. But my blue spaces, it's like, yeah. And then I'm in the Midwest, I'm in the Midwest, so our winters are brutal. They're brutal. But then when the summer comes, it's like, I'm outside. I
know that's right.
Yeah. I'll be like, you remember you were little and you come in the house, your mama, your dad, like, you smell like outside. You would be offended as a kid. Now I don't care. I do.
Okay, I'm trying to get outside on me.
Yeah. We do. We definitely want to get outside and get us some fresh air. So good stuff.
Yes.
Glamalicious, are you still here? I think she's still on here. But thank you all. We've been on here for you was trying to get outside the last 2 days. Yeah. But can you open your windows? Can you open your curtains and stuff so you can at least get some sunshine? Glamalicious. Okay. Yeah. So even that. Just getting some sunshine, through the windows, that that helps. To just look outside. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it does help, and a lot of people underestimate it. Just simple stuff, and that's what we're talking about. Just those simple things. Because taking a walk, you open the blinds every day. Okay, so even just taking a walk every day. Sometimes you can use that walk as a physical walk, as a fitness walk, but you can also use it to get some mental clarity, to get some spiritual grounding, just to be outside. Oh, you've been stuck in the house for 2 months. Oh, yeah, it's been that long with the knee surgery. Yeah. Okay, we got to change that. You may have to put some of your screens on some nature stuff, Glamalicious. You may have to put your monitors. Pull up some nature stuff. Okay, yeah. Or some sound bowl therapy. I want to do that.
That does work, especially at night. Yeah.
The first time I did that, it was weird because we were at a retreat, and it was probably 100 of us in this room. It was a couple. It was a husband and a wife, and they started playing. I remember hearing maybe the first, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't remember. But then afterwards, we just heard them saying, welcome back or whatever. I'm like, so we were looking at each other. It felt weird, like what they just do to us. Like, what just happened here? Okay, you have the pond behind. Yeah. Yep, looking at that water. Yep, the pond. But that was so funny, though. We were looking around each other. We looking suspicious at each other. Like, did you go to sleep? Like, I don't know if I was asleep or if I was in a trance. What they do to us? Like, it was the very first time because it was so unexpected. You said the sound bowl sessions knock you clean out. Yes. I was suspicious. Now, if I was in a room by myself with just some people, I'd be like, what you do to me? But it was a lot of us. It was 100 of us in the room that were asking each other the same question. Like, when did you fall asleep? I didn't really identify it as I fell asleep. It was like I was just gone. Like, that's how, and when I heard them say, welcome back, I'm like, where did I go? Like, what? My very first session, but after that, now I know because I relax into it. I practice my meditative breathing or whatever. I'm a little bit more, a little bit more in tune with it. But that very first time, it was weird. Think about it. We live in a society where we're go, 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 go. We get somewhere, and then within 5 minutes, all we know was the span of time. It was like a half an hour that was missing, like out of our lives. Like what happened? It was funny though. We were looking around each other like, what,
Right.
what did you? I didn't hear anything.
That's
Like I didn't hear anything after. I just remember it may have been maybe the first 5 minutes, but after that they were saying, "Welcome back." You said you are unconscious every single time. You out every single time. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. And I wanted to do it again. I mean, I wasn't like unsure like something bad happened. It was just so weird that amount of time had passed and we didn't know what happened. So I'm good with it. I like it. I like it now. So I would reckon. So if you have not done a sound bowl therapy, or some people call it sound bath or Tibetan singing bowls, if you haven't done that, I would say try that. And even if you haven't done it live, I've listened to them like on YouTube recordings, but they don't feel the same to me. But even though I know what they are, but being in that
It's not
room
the same. Yeah.
and getting them vibrations off the wall, it's so different. It's so different. So yeah, I prefer to be in person with it. I definitely prefer to be in person. Okay, let me see. Do we have somebody? Hey, Summer, thank you for joining us. Guys, we're gonna wrap this party up, but I mean we had a really good conversation. Thank you all so much for joining in.
This was great.
Thank you so much. Yeah, but we're gonna talk about some herbs. We're gonna talk about some herbs. So I mean, if you'll come back for us to have the conversation, just to offer some useful strategies, and especially with the summertime coming, because people can actually grow things. You can start off with something small, and this is what I'll say about growing stuff. Right? I had a garden before, but I haven't done it, in a few years. But if you got a black thumb, or if you think you got a black thumb, start with something easy like some mint. Mint will make you feel very successful because mint is gangster, but you got to keep it contained. I don't say that. That's the warning. Don't be putting mint next to something else because mint is going to take over. But if you want to feel successful and then you want to build up your green thumb, then start with mint. And you can use it. You can put it in your water, especially in the summer, to get, some cool water or that cool flavor. You can steep it, where you can just make a mint tea. You can add some ginger to it. You can add some honey. You can add some lemon. You can add some lime. There's a whole lot that you can do with some mint. But I'm just saying, if you want to feel successful and don't feel like every plant you get is gone, mint. Now, if you can kill a mint plant, you might be on the suspect list. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you can kill a mint plant, because mint is gangster. Mint is really, 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 really gangster. So I'm looking forward to our conversations. We're going to let them flow organically. I mean, I may have some things like today that was prompted by, the conversation or the situation with the young lady with the birthday. And, she's the giving friend and the friends didn't show up for her, all the way to the young ladies. And their videos are still up. The young ladies who just got back from Colombia, who almost got kidnapped. And those were the friends that were 10 toes down for one another. Like they were like, it's either all of us going down or none of us going down. And they fought for their lives. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just put it in the search engine. Women almost kidnapped in Colombia. It's 3 of them. And they are giving their different perspectives. And even though it's coming from different perspectives, their attitude toward the situation is the same. It was like, we girls, everybody going down together, or everybody getting out of this alive. Nobody let each other go. They fought for their lives. This man, was trying to take them somewhere, probably trying to traffic them, took their phones from them and everything. But they fought. And then one girl, her nails, and she was bleeding, and they fought for their lives. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. So look for 3 women almost kidnapped in Colombia, and I'm pretty sure it'll come up because this is fresh. This is something that just happened. So we're just talking about, how do you disconnect from those unhealthy spaces? What are some self-care strategies that you can use so that you're still able to maintain, your peace, your mental stability, your physical health, because all of that comes into play, and especially if you're coming from families or friend groups, where the situation was more toxic than it was healthy, and you had to literally remove yourself. And if you're talking about from, a siblingship, or, from, a parenthood, a blood relationship, or just a family, because everybody that is in your family is not necessarily blood related, so the relatives are the ones that share your DNA, and their bloodline. But you can have family that you're not biologically, connected with. But just coming out of those spaces and being okay. And sometimes it takes stepping away. Sometimes it takes developing a community with people who you are unfamiliar with. And I'm using that in quotation marks because you begin to learn who you are by the reflection or by the energy that you exchange, with other people. And I'm not saying you go out and you just try and collect all these different people to bring them in and, to create a new family. It's just that you get a chance to grow. You get a chance to thrive. It's like if you were to repot a plant, right? It's still the plant. It's still the same plant that had all that potential in that ball, of roots that are in that small plant. But when you take that plant out and you put it in a bigger pot, so it's still the same plant, but it has a new environment around it. So that new soil, the new nutrients allows that plant to grow out and to thrive a little bit more. And so that's what we're doing here. We're worldwide. Listen, I told y'all I'm worldwide. I'm worldwide. So we got the UK. Listen here. But I've had people from all over that's gonna come up in here. And that's what we want to do. We want to take care of one another in the best way that we can. We want to make sure that this space stays safe. And I want to congratulate my Y-tubers. Thank you so much, because Blam or Vlad, he stopped the dragon talk. So I'm proud of y'all. Y'all survived. I was gonna cut y'all off, but y'all survived. Congratulations, Y-tube. Yeah. Hey, Tashi. Say something, Tashi. We winding down. So thank you so much for getting your heart me. Say something so I can let people know about this is another self-care strategy. So say something to the people so I can pin you. So if you want to, okay, here we go. So you all make sure you are following Tashi Wellness. She teaches, wait, did I pin you? Oh wait, there we go. Yep. So she teaches a chair fit class and a walking exercise class. Follow her so you can get her schedule. But both of them are like, listen, when we first took that class, we thought we was going to be sitting down. That didn't happen. We were sitting down, but you move. So if you want some low impact exercises, that's who you want to follow. Make sure you follow Tashi Wellness. So either screenshot it or start following her now. And then her schedule is up on her page. But if you're talking about being able to move, whether you have mobility issues or not, you at least get a chance to do something. And she's also a nurse, And so, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing, and she knows what she's talking about. So again, thank you all for joining us here in the Self-Care Suite. We are here on Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday afternoons. I'm still teaching Pilates. The ones that are streaming on TikTok is for subscribers, but it's still Mondays and Fridays at 6 a.m. So you can hit that, when it comes to that. Hit that star right there and subscribe. You're getting 8 classes a month, sometimes 9 classes a month for $10. For $10. So yeah, so then Pilates is not expensive. When people say Pilates is expensive, you can get real Pilates. Hit that subscribe button right there. Not that, the yellow one when it comes back over. So you hit that, join us, it's for the subscribe, that right there. And we're doing Pilates. It is all level friendly. Whether you let your alarm for Sunday so you don't miss it. Thank you so much. Whether you are brand new to Pilates or whether you are an experienced mover, if you're a teacher, teacher in training, if you're an actual Pilates teacher, it is mixed level. So you don't have to worry about, if you all the stuff you be saying, okay, I'm supposed to be listening and not judging. Let me get myself back. But anyway, because some people are doing stuff out there and it ain't Pilates. Just because you see them doing it on the reformer, it's not. And I don't want y'all to be out here, trying all this stuff. The shenanigans, malarkey, and foolishness. But if you want to get into a Pilates class, then I will be your Pilates teacher. I will be your mindful movement guide. I also have a virtual studio. So I'm teaching basically Monday through Friday. But in the virtual studio, the difference between the virtual studio and you getting a class streamed on TikTok, YTube, I don't think we're going to be streaming over there, at least just yet, because we're working on memberships over there. But on TikTok, the difference is if you are watching from this screen, then you're just watching me. You're watching me teach. But if I have people in the virtual studio, I can see them and they can see me, and I can also offer any adjustments. But I'm not able to see you on this screen. So that's the difference. You can do the subscription. You can hit that. You can do the subscription. You're talking $10, 8 classes. Some months you get 9 classes. So that's I mean, I can't call it a great deal. That's better than a clearance sale. That's better than a liquidation sale. So you can do that if you want to get your Pilates classes that way. It also will help you to be prepared that if you decided that you wanted to go into a studio and you wanted to go, even if you want to go and get on a reformer and take Pilates, you will have a foundation. You will have a solid foundation to work with. And yeah, we do Pilates according to Mr. Pilates. This is Mr. Pilates. This is Joseph Pilates. This is who created it. So all that other stuff, I'm supposed to be being nice. I'm gonna be nice. But all that stuff people showing y'all, we doing Pilates the way he taught. You see that? Ain't nothing fancy. That man ain't even got no mat. He don't even have no mat. Let me show y'all why too. Look at that. He don't even have a mat. He don't have a mat. You don't need all that fancy stuff. This is who created it. So how you gonna tell the person who created it that it ain't Pilates, right? This book is called Return to Life. You can purchase it if you want. You don't have to, but I'm just showing you that this is what we operate out of. Pilates. This is who created it. This is who created it. Joseph Pilates. So that's what we do. We do authentic Pilates. So if you want that, if you want to learn authentic Pilates, then you want to meet us on Mondays and Fridays at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. And my Tuesday and Thursday classes is more of a functional flow. And the difference between my Monday and Friday classes and my Tuesday and Thursday, the Tuesday and Thursday classes are people who have been rocking out with us for years. And they don't need a lot of prompting. They don't need a lot of demos unless it's something that's just totally new. Now, can you just come right in and go into a Tuesday, Thursday class? You could, but you would meet with me first so that I can just see your level of proficiency. And that would happen like on a Wednesday morning so that I can just see, like, I don't want anybody coming in cold saying, oh, that class was so hard, you know, that she wasn't explaining anything. That it's a different flow. Well, it's a different pace of a flow. Right? It's still Pilates, but it's a different pace of flow because they already know. If I name an exercise, they know exactly what to do. If we're adding a prop or something to it, they would know exactly what to do. But my Mondays and Fridays, if we got to pause, if we have to answer a question, you know, if I have to demo an exercise 4 or 5 different ways, that will be the class that will be more appropriate. So I always recommend you start with the Mondays and Fridays classes because you get the foundation. You're going to get the foundational principles and the foundational exercises from the actual authentic original Pilates exercises created by Joseph Pilates. So if you want that, then I would say you join the virtual studio on Mondays and Fridays at 6 a.m. Central and Standard Time. Or if you're fine with the way we presented it here on TikTok, where you're just watching me, I'm okay with that if you're okay with that. But you just have to be mindful that if you want actual corrections and if you want more guidance, then you would need to move from TikTok into the virtual studio. And in that, you can find that through my website, which is Coach Robin Renee. So I'm Coach Robin Renee on all social media outlets and for TikTok. So if you want, YTube. So TikTokers, you can subscribe to me on YTube. I have a show called Melanin Matters. We upload a new episode, each month. We're talking to wellness professionals, mainly Pilates professionals, but we have some that are not Pilates professionals, but they're in the wellness space. So we have conversations with them. You find out about their business, how they got to where, they are, how you can connect with them, from our particular show, from the episode that they're on. And so I want to collaborate with other small Black owned businesses, primarily women. We do have one that I know of in the Chicagoland area that's a male owned Pilates studio. And I'm so excited, to link up, so that he and I can have these discussions about Pilates. But yeah, we have a male owned studio and it's a Black guy studio in Chicago. And so I want you guys to see that. So we'll be going on our tours, around the city. Now that it's a little bit warmer, because I'm gonna let you know, I ain't no wintertime person. I've been here a long time, but yeah, winters, I just don't be out there just to be out there. But the summer, I'm outside. We outside in the summertime. So I'm excited to take you all along with us. Some of our actual events that we're going to have will be in, what's up, hot chocolate? What's up? We're going to be in those spaces and we're going to stream live from there. So the self-care suite is going to actually be streamed live from one of our self-care events, maybe more than one of our self-care events. And I'm, looking forward to that. So you never know, we might be out on the lake, we might be on somebody's rooftop, streaming live. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to get out of these walls. We're going to get out of these walls so that we can get outside and, enjoy some of this self-care that we have been sharing. So yeah, so thank you again for joining. And if you just joined, just to recap, I am still teaching Pilates. I'm teaching basically Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, streaming on TikTok for subscribers. If you hit this, when it goes through there, you hit that gold star, right there, become a subscriber. You get those classes. You're going to get at least 8 classes. Some months you'll get 9, and you're talking about for $10. So where they do that at? For the whole month, not per class, for the whole month. Where they do that at? I don't know how long I'm going to keep that, but for now, because we have built a community, we built a Pilates community here, and I do want to stay connected with you all. But again, you do have the option. You can totally do, just hit the subscriber button. You can totally do just subscriber only, where you'll see me teaching, or you have the option to go into the virtual studio and I can see you. You can see me, we can see each other. And if you want that extra support in terms of, accommodating, the exercises to fit, your body, then I'll be able to see you and offer those corrections. And so, yeah. And so on that note, do we have anything else? Subscribe where? Right here. Hit that gold star. Wait, when it goes past. But you're going to hit that gold star. So for my TikTok subscribers, so we just opened up the subscription right there. You hit that gold star right there. And you subscribing for $10 for the whole month. So listen, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it like that, because that's like free, basically, It's like you're getting the classes for free. So if you enjoyed the 10 free classes that I gifted, to the TikTok community, it's still going to be in that style. So if you were okay with those classes, then yeah, it'll be the same. If you become a subscriber, it's going to be the same classes, Mondays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. Good deal, child. Listen, let me pin you. We got to find another word. It's better than a good deal. But I'm just saying, people be saying, Pilates is so expensive. I'm trying to help you out. And it is authentic. So hot chocolate. So before we get out of here, can you say something for people who are just coming or who weren't familiar with the classes that we did, like your experience about the classes? What's happening, Coach Caprice? I'm gonna pin Coach Caprice. Y'all need to know her. I don't know her schedule, but Coach Caprice, she gets you ready, mind, body, and spirit, for the calling on your life that the Lord wants you to do some work. Faith and fitness. You want to give a Coach Caprice, and if you want to know about eating, your macros, your micros, your fats, your proteins, what am I missing? Something else. Your carbs, like all that stuff, Coach Caprice. So screenshot it or go ahead and hit that her profile and follow Coach Caprice, because she's gonna get you right. And she ain't into no dieting. She ain't into no diet culture. You ain't got to be starving and all that kind of stuff. She teaches you how to eat very well. Okay, hot chocolate. So I hope y'all got Coach Caprice. So I'm pinning hot chocolate. So it was excellent. This is about the Pilates classes that we did on TikTok. So it was 10 classes that we gave away. What's up, BG? So she said it was excellent. Thank you so much for getting your heart me. And she does a great job explaining the moves. Thank you so much. That's what I'm here for. So if that's your stilo, if that's what you want to do, then I would say subscribe to get those classes. Again, you getting 8 classes in some months. Some months you get in 9 classes, and you talking $10 for the whole month. And I'm letting you know, I don't know how long it's gonna stay like that. I'm not trying to trick you, and I ain't trying to make you do something. You do whatever you want to do. That's your money. I ain't got nothing to do with what's happening with your money. But for real, that's a deal. So if you want to hit that, and then you become a subscriber. And then when the summertime come, I'll be outside. I'll be honest with you. I'll be outside. So come join us and come flow with us. But we had a really good conversation today, y'all. And I hope you'll come back and join us in the self-care suite. And also, if you are in the wellness space, no, let me backtrack that. Well, one, if you're in the wellness space, but even if you're not in the wellness space, but you have some self-care strategies that you want to share, at any time, you can come in here, you're going to hit them, that man and lady, I guess it's supposed to be representative of a man and a lady. You hit that, you can come up in a box and you can have that discussion. I don't want to be here in a teaching capacity because I teach all the time, but I want us to be here to be able to share different self-care strategies. So that's what we're doing here. So if you have something that, like if you garden and you want to teach us how to garden and you will give us some simple strategies, come on up, and share that. If you, meditate, if you do sound, like we were just talking about the sound bowls, all those sorts of things. You play the harp, I'm just saying, and you want to come and you want 10 minutes in the box so we can listen to you play the harp, let me know. This is all about our self-care and those strategies that we can take to put in our self-care toolbox or self-care arsenal, depending on what you want to identify it as. But I want you to be able to always walk away with something. If you didn't get anything when you left out of here on one day, let me know. Let me know, and I mean, we can either go back over whatever it was that we discussed, or I'm going to make a note of it and then make sure, that we plug in on the next week, which is why I'm encouraging everybody, to participate. There's no right or wrong way. Everything doesn't work the same for everybody. So I don't know if you heard me with the conversation with Divinely Guided. I said I was going to be going into some grounding, but I'm being honest with you. It was just me thinking about putting my feet on the ground with millions of people being. Oh, yes, Vanessa. Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to pin Vanessa. So Vanessa says she fully agrees that the sessions were fabulous. So if you want to come, I mean, it's authentic Pilates. That's all I'm telling you. I'm trying to learn you something. And hopefully, we can take it through the summer. I ain't making no promises. But yeah, hopefully we can take it all the way through the summer. I'm telling you, because I'll be outside. But you know what? I can do the classes outside. Let me quit playing. I can do the classes outside. So if I decide to go out, because I like to go and catch sunrises. And so sometimes the sun is rising, at 5:15, 5:02. So, but I can do it. But in some spaces where I am, I know when I'm in Gary, Indiana, sometimes, because I'm a little bit further out by the water, and the signal is not, really good on at West Beach. I don't know if you all are familiar with West Beach. It's a part of the Indiana Dunes, the national park. So at West Beach, because you're going through the forest and you're going through a whole lot of stuff before you get a chance to walk out to the beach. So you get kind of, a little bit out. And so the signal can get a little sketchy. So we'll see. I'll test it out. In fact, I'll just go to because they have stairs over there too. Maybe I'll just go there and then take you all on a tour. Maybe I'll do that one Sunday afternoon just to see how we work with this before I decide if I'm going to do a class out there or not. But yeah, but that's it. That's all. You all have been wonderful today. Again, mark your calendars, set your alarm, hit my notification bell. Oh, listen, Vanessa, let me put this up here. Y'all see that? Vanessa says, I'm a wheelchair user and I was able to participate in the Pilates sessions and she will fully recommend. Girl, let me screenshot this. How do I, BG, you in here. How do I, oh, wait, I done went out. Oh, Lord, what I do? How I get back? Lord, can y'all hear me? Oh, there we are. Okay, I hope I got it. But Vanessa, I don't know. Oh, I can get your comment. Yeah, I can get it when I'm done. Yes, you all see that? I'm a wheelchair user and I was able to participate in the Pilates sessions and she will fully recommend. I mean, I do have some people who have mobility issues who, spend time in beds and they're able to do the Pilates from there. So yeah, good stuff. If y'all don't have anything else, then I don't have anything else. I'm going to sign out. And we're back in the self-care suite. And for now, I'm not able to play music because I got Y2 on there too, because Y2 will flag me. So I'm not able to play music, but y'all know we be chilling. So maybe I'll do, let T talk in a little bit early and we'll have a little 15-minute jam session to get started. And then once I let Y2 in, because they will flag me. They will flag me over on the Y2, but I don't need to be getting no flags on my account. What's happening, Rocky? We are signing off. Again, thank you all so much for joining. And I want you to go out and be greater than you were 2 hours ago. Y'all, we've been on here for 2 hours and it is our prayer. Oh, thank you so much. It's our prayer that you walk away with some useful self-care strategy each and every time you enter the self-care suite to add to your self-care arsenal. On that note, y'all, peace. Take it light. Thank you so much for the gifts and for getting your heart me. All right, we're out. Y2, we're out.